Hey, it's Melissa from Kiwi Banana, and today I want to talk about 5 things that have helped me grow. And I guess these are kind of probably sit within the kind of like philosophical aspects of oneself. And I guess we all are always learning lots of different things, and I thought it'd be great to be able to share some of the things that I've learned to date. So the first one I want to talk about is, I guess, in relation to emotions. Now, for myself and my own past experiences, I guess I probably, you'd say, like blocked them, or really didn't, I guess, allow myself to be with them, just to my own kind of, experiences that I was having when I was younger. And I guess, so if you can identify the emotion is a good start. Can you name the emotion? Does that emotion relate to a particular experience you've had in the past? And then be able to sit with that emotion, if it's appropriate to do so at that time. Sometimes it's not quite appropriate to do so at that time, but obviously try and see if you can get to that space as soon as possible, because otherwise it might come out afterwards, as I like to call it, kind of rear its ugly head. And and then obviously you want to be able to release that emotion. So when you're able to do that, then hopefully you should be able to, forgive yourself, forgive others, and other things that are related to that. Now, obviously, there's a whole lot of different ways that people can do those kind of things in regards to the emotions, and I'm not going to share that in this video. Some things work better for others. So the next one I want to talk about is in regards to learning and understanding as many of the potential perspectives there is on almost anything that you want to learn, or maybe you don't want to learn but have just come up for you, because life isn't black and white, and from what I have experienced, being able to see things from as many different angles as possible is beneficial. Obviously, there is an aspect of that where you can go too far and you can be really overwhelmed by lots of different information, but not just having one singular view on something, but being able to see it from many different views. And that doesn't mean that you can't just have your own opinion on that thing, but you also need to be understanding of where someone else is coming from when they form their opinions. So the next one that I want to talk about is becoming a good listener and a good space holder. And what that looks like is going to be different for different people, but also don't be so quick to advise. I guess from my own past experiences, I would be very quick to advise on something for someone. They'd discuss the issue, and I'd be like, well, it's quite clearly you just need to do this, this, and this. And that's great that you're maybe aware of that, but sometimes that person just needs someone to listen to what they have to say. And more often than not, they may actually come to their own realizations about how to go about the issue or whatever it is that they are sharing with you. I mean, obviously, if they're specifically asking you for advice, or you've sat with them and you've given them that space and, asked them, well, how do you feel about it now, blah, 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 and you can engage about whether advice is good to give or not. But also there's a fine line with that, in the sense that you also need to consider boundaries. Boundaries are very important, and there will be people out there that will obviously take advantage of that space holding. So you also obviously need to set some boundaries, and you need to be able to do that so that you can take care of yourself and still be able to take care of others. So the next thing that I want to talk about is that obviously intellect and logic are great, and those are things that I generally, I guess you could say, have focused on a lot, especially when I was younger. It was sort of the way that I could see would help me go in particular directions. However, it's also important to learn about, obviously, things like, I'm going to throw these terms out here, maybe you don't know of them, and that's fine, and maybe they're not part of your own belief system, and that's okay too, but things like the gut brain, which I guess some people might call it gut instinct, like third eye, feeling things into you, like what your intuition is, what particular, things are coming up for you in different kinds of senses that I guess you may not be taught about in most schools around the world. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can make decisions and really understand a situation and where it may be going, not just through logic and intellect. However, I'm well aware that that is normally what is pushed for us to do in, I guess, most mainstream Western society. But it is also important to learn about other senses that you have that can actually help you give some really good information, and obviously learning how to balance that as well. And I guess the last area that I wanted to talk about, being number 5, is obviously what you focus on grows, and having gratitude for everything that happens along the way with that growth. And if you have a direction that you obviously wish to go, you want to be looking at what it is that you're actually doing to help yourself, or might not necessarily be a direction that you're focused on just for you. It could be a direction for maybe your family, your community, and your friends. Or if you want to go global, the whole world. We're not going to get too far into that in this video. So, looking at what it is that you're doing to actually help yourself get along that way in that direction. There's also obviously a balance of like being really quite forceful with trying to make something happen, but also surrendering. But that can be something I can discuss in another video. But also looking at around the language that you use for that growth in that direction, because words can be quite powerful, and even sometimes just switching up the way that you are saying something or that you may be potentially manifesting can obviously make the growth be bigger, faster. I don't know how else you might put it. And so yeah, that is, I guess, what you say, like some of the things that I've found to help me with my own personal growth and those around me in my life so far. And there's obviously a whole lot of other things, but I don't want to prattle on all day long. And if you've got some things that you felt that you've really found, I guess, bring you some sort of clarity or peace, or just have really been really beneficial in your life and those around you, you're more than welcome to put those in the comment section down below. And I hope you've manifested something that makes you happy today, and I will see you in the next video.